you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso. So I'm out here with Ibiza, Berlin, Nirvana, Velocity, and Preacher. Wanting to just kind of take a look at Ibiza, kind of see how she's maturing, see how she's doing. She's been out now for a while. We've had quite a lot going on, and I was working with Berlin, and so just kind of letting her mature and do her thing, and just kind of seeing what she matures into. So she's still a very large female. She's up there with her father. Well, not her father, actually. Not near her father. I meant to say her great-grandfather, which would be Preacher. So you can see there. She moves really well. You can see Berlin is taller. So both of them are actually kind of going through an ugly phase right now. Hers is better than his. As a female, hers is just doesn't seem to be hitting her as hard. But she is a very sizable dog, and so I will say that she's going through it more than her mother did, because her mother really kept it together. She lost, I wouldn't really say she lost triangulation so much as I would say that she did lose a bit of turn to stifle. And she looked a little straight through the knee for a while. And she did lose. So as a puppy, she had good forechest. And then when she was maturing, she lost that for a while. And her front just really didn't look very good. And then recently it's come back. I mean, Nirvana looks fantastic. I mean, not right now because she just, had a litter. But if I haven't moved or I don't have my permit by then, I'll put her out and show her for a while I'm not doing anything over here. And on that note, I've had a lot of people asking about kind of what's going on with that, especially after I made the video yesterday about the kennels. And basically I'm in a state of limbo right now. The only thing that's happened is that I had a neighbor who was originally not for my permit. And so I've been able to change the minds of some people. And I don't want to say that even I've done it, because, maybe I've done it because I guess I was a part of that process. But what I will say is that I really feel that it was more God than anything, because the things that happened were beyond my control. They basically noticed inconsistencies in what they had been told, and were able to figure it out from themselves, just looking and researching and stuff like that, that maybe they hadn't been really given the full story. And I mean the full story about my breed, not the full story. Oh, well, and to some degree, yes, the full story about me. So anyway, so I've had two people that have basically told me that they will support my permit that originally were against it, that are very, they're close neighbors. And so that's a very important thing. I also wanted to wait for the Board of Supervisors change, which in my area, in order to have a permit for a kennel, one where you sell puppies of any variety or any number, whether you sell 1 or 100, it doesn't matter. What matters to them is that you are approved through a permit process, and that is ultimately voted on by what is called the Board of Supervisors. And so there's, I think, 5 of them for the different areas that I live in, for the different, I live in one county, but then there's different cities within that county. And so each of those cities has a Board of Supervisor. And so we were waiting on that process to happen, because at the time there was kind of more of like a person who's just kind of standing in, because the original guy had passed away unexpectedly and had not been voted out. So anyway, so I wanted to wait for that to happen. That has happened. And and so anyway, so I'm just kind of just waiting for the right time. It's not that I don't want to get my permit, I do, but I at least want to give myself the best possible chance. So anyway, so I've made a lot of progress, is what I'll say. There's been some really good things happening. And basically I've kind of had to, I talked with the county and kind of asked them, look, if there's still a couple people that won't change their mind, then would that mean that no? And what I was told was basically that it just depends, that it could go either way. And so anyway, so when the time comes, what I'll do is I'll reapply. I will do what I can to kind of help try to educate folks on my breed by having I'll take my dogs to any of the public places where they're allowed. Come here. What are you doing in there? Preacher. And I will, any of the local stores that allow pets inside, I'll bring them. Preacher, now, let's go. Get out of there. Now, move it. I don't want him in there because there's copperheads out right now. I don't know that there's any in there, but the way he got all excited when he ran out just made me nervous. Come on. Good dog. So anyway, so I'm not just going to lay down and give up. I'm really going to try hard. If everyone around me still hated me, that would be one thing, but I had given up. I had completely given up. I was ready to move, ready to do what I had to do to move. And things started happening beyond my control, things that just, and I started to think to myself, okay, all right, maybe you're trying to tell me something, God. So I'm just going to have faith, and I'm going to do what I feel like you're leading me to do. And that's what I'm going to do. So one of the things that I feel is very important for me to do, and this might sound odd, but is that I really want to build an obedience course in here. So have just some, maybe not specifically an obedience course, but things like that. You know what I mean? Kind of like a ropes course for dogs. And I'll have it portable in case I move. But I want to have that because some of my neighbors expressed interest in having a place where they could kind of do training. And, I've helped people train their dogs all the time. I help people for free all the time. I have no problem helping people train their dogs, and particularly locals. And so I feel like maybe if I could show the community that I'm willing to be a team player, that I'm willing to help out and be a part of the community and kind of offer what I have as far as my knowledge, my worth to the community, which is in working with dogs and training dogs. And then maybe people could get to meet my dogs and realize that they're not so bad, and realize that, that breeders are not so bad, and that we can all kind of coexist. And so I'm just going to do what I can. You know what I mean? That's all I can do, right? And in the meantime, any of the puppies, any litters that we had planned, are being bred by my best friend and business partner off my property. Dogs are being housed off my property, which is why Mona's not here right now, so that I can stay within the legal parameters. While I continue to kind of fight this fight, because I can't do that while shutting my business down. So anyway, I hope that better helps people understand kind of what's going on right now. So aside from that, there's a show that I want to take Nirvana to, And so I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna work on getting her back up into good shape, and be working her out so that she looks her best. Doesn't matter if she's been bred. I believe there was actually a female at Westminster that had been bred, and so truth be told, as long as they're not sagging structure, then you're usually fine. Because they know that these dogs are that's what they're for. You know what I mean? That if you're out there showing your dog, they're meant for breeding. That's why you're not allowed to show altered dogs. So you cannot show a spayed female. You cannot show a neutered male, because it's not just for funsies. It's for determining, the best breed quality. So yeah. So yeah, I'm going to try to get her up in tip-top shape by that time. Get her looking fresh, because her front has come back really well, and she just looks fantastic. So I want to get her up into condition and show her off. Show how good you look. And then whenever we go out and we take her babies out, we'll just have this. I mean, she's already done a lot. Like, make no mistake about it. She's already a grand champion. You know what I mean? She's already a very titled dog. #1 puppy in the country for 2020. So really, really highly recognized dog. But, we could do more. And if we've got the time, because we don't have a bunch of litters on the ground, why not, right? So she tried to get up fast and it didn't work. Get her, Berlin. Just get her, Berlin. So Berlin is Nirvana's son from her last litter. And as you can see, he's huge. He's a big old boy. I think he's 10 months old now, I think. Just turned 10 months old on the 28th. So still a baby. He's got a lot of growing to do still. I can tell because he's muy feo. And he didn't look like that as a baby. So, and it just, the uglier they get, the bigger they are. That's just kind of what it is. And for her especially, for Ibiza to be as big as she is right now, I mean, I'm telling you what, she is a very tall female. I mean, look at her compared to Velocity. Velocity is, like 4 years old? Ibiza is 10 months old. Just turned 10 months old. Look at that. She's huge. Huge dog. Nice and long. Still just a baby. She's just a baby. Izzy's in heat. I'm happy to report that. She's out of Velocity and Mad Mortigan, out of their last litter. It's always good to me to know that they go into their first heat, because then I know that there's high likelihood that everything's going to be moving in the correct direction. Whenever I don't get a heat, that's a problem. So it's not always a guarantee. You know what I mean? Zoe cycles correctly, but I haven't gotten a litter out of her yet. So, and so did Suki. And Suki's super happy in her new home. Oh my God, her owner is just so happy. They just love her to death. Sends me pictures. Very, very, very happy. Fantastic situation all the way around. Definitely worked out exactly like it should. So I'm very happy to report that as well. Big old fat head. So anyway, so yeah, I only have one other dog available, which is Trinity. Trinity is a daughter of Cashmere and Preacher. And she has been retired. And so if you're interested in her, give me a holler, and we can talk. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna sit inside and sulk about the fact that this rain just won't move over a couple miles so that we can get some of that. We're having to deal with this ridiculous, just breathtaking humidity and heat that is designed to produce fantastic storms, but we're just not getting any. So there's no relief, and it sucks. So, yeah. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.